I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a crazy love, moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a crazy love, moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
Zuri's troupe is situated at the lower reaches of Monkey Hill. And there goes Venus, with her little boy Toby, cute as ever. Lexi approaches. She's a street-smart girl who knows how to read the subtle cues of other individuals without drawing unwanted attention. She is always careful with how she navigates in the troupe. Mariah is a playful aunt. She teases her niece with gentle pounces and a set of unique eyes full of mischief. She is still a young girl herself. A ripple of excitement passes through the clan. They thought that the goodies van had arrived. A slow, quiet procession. How many of them do you recognize without me putting name tags? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see how well you know the troupe. Freddie is no longer with us as of today. Another one of the veterans who is part of the foundation of the troupe had slipped away. Ever since Martha left the troupe, Tris stepped in and cared for Bubbles. Their bond runs deeper than mere circumstance. Tris is related, perhaps an aunt, an older sister, or a cousin part of the extended family. Martha may be gone, but Bubbles isn't alone. Being higher in rank, Grace's son Lucian always picks on Bethany. It's the familiar pattern where the privileged child is emboldened by his mother's status, using his power on one who cannot easily strike back. Lucy is such a beautiful girl. Her cherubic, round face and soft fur makes her all the more eye-catching. Bethany has her eyes on the dainty girl on her aunt's back. She is lip-smacking to get her attention. Bethany then proceeds to show her Aunt Grace her hindquarters. A deliberate, respectful gesture to signal submission. She simply wants to babysit her cousin, without provoking her aunt's protective instincts. Olivia's family is lower ranking than Sarah's. It's not a matter of strength or character, but of lineage. And Olivia's descendants are aware of the boundaries that separate them from those who sit above. Lucy still has Bethany's attention. Ronnie is a quirky girl. She can always find something to entertain herself. This time, a fallen branch. She clamps her mouth onto the branch. The forest is full of objects, and today Ronnie has decided that this one deserves her attention. Poor Sarah. She cannot give birth due to her rectal prolapse, a condition that has turned every pregnancy into a quiet tragedy. They have all ended in tragic miscarriages ever since she developed this condition. She endures the weight of loss year after year. But at least she has a big family. 3 daughters and 3 sons. They love her, groom her, and stay close to her. She may not be able to bring new life into the world, but she has raised and nurtured life. Motherhood isn't only about birth, but the steady companionship and doting presence that follows. Hero is grooming his younger brother Chase. Here comes Gemini and baby Beth. Bethany lights up the moment she sees her little sister. Bethany is one loving sister. She's always on the lookout for her younger siblings. She doesn't try to kidnap Beth. She doesn't overstep the boundaries set by Mum. She simply accompanies her little sister, vigilantly watching her and gently reaching out her hands to Beth's cherubic face. Tate is holding a plastic lunchbox discarded by humans along the road. Mia is babysitting her niece. It's time for some rough and tumble for the boys. For now, they are simply doing what boys do, reveling in the joy of being young. Mia took Beth away and left the scene. It was not a kidnapping born of malice. Mia really wants a child of her own, but she sadly cannot. She has never felt the warmth of her own infant against her torso. And so, season after season, she borrows her sister's babies. She holds them, grooms them, as if she is pretending that they are hers, even just for a brief moment. Mia has a better relationship with Gemini than with Grace. She's less guarded with Gemini. Gemini follows Mia into the woods, not to confront, but to wait for her sister to bring Beth back when she is ready. There's Asta sitting high up on the branch with a relaxed posture. Joey is peeking from Mum's back. The familiar rhythm on Monkey Hill continues its course. Everyone is minding their own business, scattered across the road. But they are always alert, their ears swivel at every sound made, and their eyes track every small movement. Ray and Raven are grown males in the blink of an eye. It seems only like yesterday they were playful juveniles, having the time of their lives. Raven is the protector. He carries the weight of responsibility that befalls him as the matriarch's first son. Ray is softer in his gait, but no less striking in asserting dominance. Every strand of Luce's smooth fur seems to be perfectly combed, perfectly in place. Gemini's children have unique features. Little Lucy rests tranquilly in Mum's embrace. It seems like little Emmett is left to his own devices, probably practicing his tree climbing skills. Bethy then tried to take her little sister Beth. The familiar scene where she is drawn by the irresistible pull of the new infant in the family. The forest offers no privacy. Sarah's peculiar behavior caught my attention. She was positioned over Mateo, a 2-year-old juvenile. She was mounting him, and she deliberately reached toward his groin. She grasped his scrotum, held it, and repeated the gesture. Then she leaned down to gently bite his hind legs. At first glance, it almost looked like a mating attempt. But obviously Mateo is far too young to be a reproductive male. In the macaque society, mounting isn't always about conception. It can be a gesture of dominance, a way of asserting rank, even when the one mounting is lower in the hierarchy. Such behavior can also serve as a social tactic, a way of communicating or relieving social tension. Or it may simply be a form of sexual exploration, driven by curiosity or physiological impulse, without any reproductive end goal. Mateo is getting irritated. Being the first baby to arrive this season, Emmett is allowed to wander a little bit farther than the others. He has earned a little more independence than his younger peers. It's evident from his familiar pace and actions that he has already immersed himself in his small world. He does not look back for reassurance, but moves as if he knows exactly where he is going. Ray came close. Around us, the clan is stirring. The restless chatter suggests that something is about to happen. They are waiting for the feeders to arrive. When you look closer, Hero does have his mother's features. He's one of the brawny and daring males in the clan, bold and unflinching, ready to face any challenge that comes his way. Sophie holds Ustra close, but her little girl doesn't settle easily. The wriggly infant refuses to be contained. There is something profoundly moving about watching baby girls become mothers themselves. Witnessing their first clumsy steps, their first hesitant climbs, their first milestones. Each one of them is a precious memory we still hold on to. The years slipped through my fingers like grains of sand. And one day, they have grown into their roles in life, raising infants of their own. It is one beautiful cycle, and we are fortunate enough to witness it. Sissy tenderly grooms her two boys, Oliver and Ocean. Time is precious with them, as they will not stay forever. At least Sissy has Oceania with her. Rosie and her very first son, Hawthorne. That little boy is milk-drunk and dreaming. He's in that blissful state of a newborn who feels secure and protected in his mother's embrace, the first and only heartbeat he ever knew. Rosie carries her new role as a mother without the comforting presence of her own parents. Both Amy and Silas are now gone, leaving Rosie and her siblings more vulnerable in the clan, as they are no longer shielded by their parents' rank. But at least she has her sisters with her. They take care of her, rest beside her, and watch over her little one when she needs a breather.